A glass shortage means that you might not be able to find your favorite tipple. The halt in liquor supply is expected to hit tavern owners particularly hard. The sector is still trying to recover from previous alcohol bans. Consol Glass, a major supplier, says it's working on fixing the situation. Now, to discuss this further, we're joined by Ntimane from the National Liqour Traders Council. Lucky, thank you very much for your time. I must say the alcohol industry seriously can't catch a break. From COVID restrictions to the shortage of bottles now. Talk to me about what Consol Holdings is actually dealing with right now.
So we understand from our engagement with Consol at a senior level that they are currently supplying between 90 and 95% of the required glass into the market, which means that we now have a shortage of about 100,000 tons, which Consol is not able to supply. But we need to also be upfront and state that the reason why we find ourselves in this predicament is because of the lockdowns and the alcohol bans that we had to endure, because what that did is that it created a scenario where Consol was not able to produce a glass to meet their stock levels. So after the lockdowns were lifted, it means that there was a gap in the system. And also it meant that Consol had to delay the construction of their Nigel plant at a cost of 1.5 billion rand, so that they could wait for certainty in the market before they could proceed with that production. So this affected the market heavily, and we are still yet to recover. And we understand that we'll only be able to get the lost tons only in May, when the Consol plant is fully completed in Nigeria.
My goodness. So what does this mean for consumers?
What it means for us, taverns specifically, is that we are being subjected. We are being subjected to a rationing of products. So if you order 10 cases, you might not get that 10 cases. You might even get 1 or 2 if you are lucky. So this means that we're going to suffer for the next 4 to 5 months without being able to get the products that we need to be able to satisfy our consumers. So it's going to be a tough period for us. And we had hoped that this was going to augur well for our recovery efforts, having a full December trading. But it was not to be. We're having now to suffer the glass shortage as a result.
Insofar as Consol is concerned, in maybe high-level engagements, are there any possibilities on their part to import bottles at this point? Would it significantly perhaps impact their prices? What has been spoken of?
So what has since happened in the past 6 months, we understand, is that the shipping rates have increased tenfold. So it is even more expensive to get glass from the overseas market. So that is also creating a scenario where we're not able to fill the gap that we see in the local market with the glass that you can get from overseas. So it becomes almost an unbearable scenario where we will not be able to get glass from anywhere, because it was just simply not feasible to do so. We just have to make do with what we have. But we understand that Consol had to fast-track the construction of the Nigel plant from 18 months projected into 12 months. Hence, we are now going to see the plant come back online on the 1st of May, which is good news for the industry. But as it stands now, we are really suffering, and we have nowhere to turn except having to deal with the rationing of products that we are being subject to, which is not really helping in our recovery efforts.
No, most certainly isn't. A very difficult time indeed, but at least some of your clients would be watching today to know that it's not an issue of improper planning on the part of perhaps a business owner, but really it's an issue bigger than the industry. Thank you very much, though, for that update. That was Ntimane from the National Liqour Council, just giving us an update of a shortage currently of bottles.